Hey, Mr. Blue, or random student who decided to scan my QR code. I'm John Barnes, and this is my representation of a theme from Liberty and Tyranny. I decided to pick entitlement programs because, to me, that stood out the most in the book about how Mark Levin went on and on and on about entitlement programs and how he thinks that they're bankrupting the government, and how he thinks that they are bankrupting people specifically, just the citizens of the U.S. So now I'm going to turn you over to my actual project. And it's a propaganda poster for the Conservative Party. Two quick things I want to point out. I highlighted words in blue and red. Blue in this case means the Democratic Party, the liberal ideology, and just generally things that are bad, like the $54 trillion debt caused by entitlement programs, or just things affiliated with the Democratic Party, like entitlement programs. Next, I outlined things in red because in this case this represents the Republican Party or the conservative ideology. It talks to you specifically. Talks about American and traditions, and how I really outlined things in red that were represented as good. So from the conservative standpoint, in this case, blue is bad, red is good. Next thing I'd like to move on to is I specifically outlined the $54 trillion debt caused by entitlement programs, and I also listed out how much that would be per household in the U.S. So I talk about the specific entitlement programs here, like Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and then I list out the debt caused by these since their creation in the New Deal and in the Great Society. And then I specifically compare the average yearly household income to each person's share. According to Mark Levin, if every American household were to pay to remedy this debt, they would each have to pay $455,000 to pay their fair share. And that would take, according to the average yearly household income, that would take about 9 years for each household to pay off. And that's devoting every cent to the cause of eliminating this debt. So that's basically my project in a nutshell. I also talk about how, from a conservative standpoint, a national health care system would allow the government to arbitrarily pick who they want to, who they treat and who they don't treat, effectively choosing who dies and who doesn't die. And I list this specifically at the top. Like, the status wants to trap you in a system that robs you of your money, like Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid. The status wants you to stray from American economic and constitutional traditions. That's specifically pointing out that this was not originally the American way. And then the status wants to decide who lives and who dies. And that comment specifically talks about the national health care system that the conservative is so against. So that's basically my project in a nutshell. The concept was entitlement programs, and I read Liberty and Tyranny. So thank you.